Okay, welcome to another episode of CustomerBloom's podcast. Very interesting podcast here. We're sort of in I'd say, transitional period where we're going to go right back into interviewing guests. We have some really cool announcements coming up in the next couple of weeks where we're going to be offering a ability to work with us directly through coaching and also through some product sets that we'll be able to sell directly online. Really cool stuff. I'm very excited to get started. This is another episode where we're going to talk about a journal entry. Well, this one is called Taking the Training Wheels Off, Progress by Initiation. So where in life do we come to finally recognize that we still have our training wheels on? So this really talks about when we finally arrive to think about we're taking the next step to initialize a bigger discussion within our framework of our own being. So the point of this discussion is really talk about where in your life do you find the quote-unquote training wheels still stuck on. It came sort of to a fruition with me thinking about the fact that, if we single-handedly really think through our day and the things that we've been doing over and over and over again, and we really haven't taken the big leap forward, why do we still have the training wheels on? You can think about this when you were a child and you were going through the process of learning how to ride a bike. At some point, you need to take the training wheels off. And I almost feel like there are certainly places in life where it seemingly doesn't really be aware of your own existence of having these training wheels. That's the big problem. And it's right in front of you typically where these training wheels need to be taken off. And in my case, I thought about this as sort of the first step for me to bring people into the company that will take my own training wheels off by default. And this is more of a higher level strategic thought process of having these discussions happen without me for our direct clients. And that's been a big hurdle for me. But I've actually realized once I just started to bring someone on board that could have these really good strategic discussions, I don't need to be there. And that's a huge leap for me. It's like taking one training wheel off. I still have another one, I think. But the concept is very similar, is that there has to be a strategy around that from your own perspective to look at the awareness of where these quote-unquote training wheels still exist. So, yes, there may be some bumps and bruises involved, and definitely at first you're going to have that initial phase where everything's scary, but then after a while it kind of moves on, right? So these amazingly quick sessions I've actually had where the discoveries of the clients, in my case, where I've passed on the strategic discussions, it's been amazing for me to say, oh, okay, this stuff can actually be done without me. And that awareness took me forever. And I think that's the big challenge here, is for this long time to recognize that, in life there are things that you need to think about that need to be taken as the next step, and that translates into business. It's these blind spots that you can't see. And I recognize this because even in my kitchen in my house, I realized there are still these plastic connections that keep the cabinets shut for children not to get in. My kids are like 10 years old. Like, they shouldn't even be there, but they've been there for so long, it's like you don't even see them anymore. And so this is the type of same sense of scenario you get with the training wheels of your own business, where you don't even see them. And I found this to be very, very adequate as a discussion point. Where can you take off the training wheels in your own business? If you think about it, where are the points where there's ability to sort of move on to the next layer? And this is a quantum leap, right? So if you're talking about letting or getting yourself out of the way and letting other people take over, it is a massive step to increase the size and scope of the business. And if we could build out the systems and training, now we're even at a different level, right? So if you can build out systems that then teach other people to do these next steps, that's where it becomes really interesting. And keeping, in our case, our office in Mexico, where we have additional resources, where we are building out infrastructure of developers and designers and project management, keeping that forward-looking in hiring ahead so that we actually have capacity and that we could prove our real value by speed. These are the things that we've just not taken the training wheels off. And every day I think, like, what could we do to move the company forward? And it's really looking at these things that we've built and where can we access the capabilities to move them forward faster. So making progress by taking off the training wheels is an interesting thought, but how do you actually start doing it? And that's where I started to think this is where this makes a big point, which is that even you look at your car, there's shoes, the things that you do on a daily basis. Where can you really say, like, I know I can make a difference, and start making a small baby step forward in those, I guess say rudimentary, but more regimented things that you're doing on a daily basis where you know that there's a next level, and taking that baby step. Because really, if you identify them, and even if you fall a few times after you've taken that next step, the opportunity is to ride off in any direction you want after you've taken your training wheels off. So this is the real big step for us, and this is progress by initiation, all right, to take that next leap. And we're taking the next leap forward as a company. We're going to be providing new things directly right on our website to provide services that you could buy directly, and we're going to be doing coaching, and we're building another brand, all the things that need to happen in order to grow. And that's what this show is about. So you're going to see lots of cool things coming. We have new guests coming up in the next couple of episodes. Excited to go forward, march forward into this new year coming up in 2017, where we really think video is going to be one of the huge things, just like you're watching right now, as part of the entire client mix that we'll be providing. So we'll see you in the next episode.